Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Con TK, Mr. So Real, and I'm on my way going to the store real quick, but I wanted to do this little improv to intro. I'm trying to get in this elevator about the new upcoming Titanfall 2 patch notes, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So stick around, we have a lot of things to cover. The patch notes are pretty long. We're talking about Titan balancing, pilot balancing, new news, new features, new game modes, bug fixes, the whole nine. So let's get into this. I'm getting into this elevator. So let's go. Titanfall 2 info. I'm Con TDK, Mr. So Real. Let's do it. Let's go. Alright guys, so let's first take a look at what is coming that is going to be in the new update, starting with the new content. So shout outs to Jay Fresh over at Respawn for posting up the patch notes, and if you haven't seen the new trailer, you should be watching it right now. And let's talk about the first bit of new content, which is called Glitch. Now if you're, just as a side note, if you want to see straight from the horse's mouth what they're talking about, you can go over to the forums for Titanfall and check it out. The patch notes are there. All right, now getting back into it, the new content, the first thing is the map Glitch. It looks pretty cool, looks like a lot of wall running, and it looks like really fluid. I'm really digging that. It looks great. The new live fire map called Deck, I can't wait to try that out. Live fire should be a lot of fun. The new faction called Marvin, with the robots, the little robots that cleaned up and repaired stuff during the campaign. They have their own faction. I can't wait to see if they have something funny to say. I hope they have something a little bit more lighthearted and kind of funny. It'd be really cool to hear what they say during the battle. I'm looking forward to that. And then there's the new execution called Get to the Point with the Pulse Blade. You get this, and the way to get this is to unlock it by getting 10 pilot kills with the pulse blade. So if you haven't killed anybody with a pulse blade, you gotta kill 10 people with that. Expect to see a lot of people using pulse blade and trying to get kills with that during the first week or so, just to unlock that. And yeah, you probably want to do that too. I don't know how hard that is. I don't think I've gotten any, so I won't have that right off the bat, but I guess that's something that I'm going to be trying to do within the first week to get it cracking. Now moving along, the next new thing that's going to be introduced with the new update is going to be the new featured mode, which will be introduced in the near future, as they say, at different times. So first they're going to have Glitch or 24/7, which will be a week of, you know, getting used to the Glitch mode, map, and then having different modes play throughout that map. And then the other thing that they're going to have is a new feature, the new mode called Mark for Death. I am new to Titanfall, so this is going to be the first time for me to play, but it looks really exciting. And what it is with Mark for Death is it's a 6v6. One member of each team is marked as target, and both teams must defend their target while trying to kill the other team's target. And once one of the marked players is killed, then the surviving marked team is rewarded with a point. And after a few seconds, new marks are chosen. First team to 10 kills will win. So it's kind of like protecting your VIP, and you want to keep that one guy safe while the other guys, I guess, maybe try to attack the other team's guy and try to kill him. So if you are the marked target, you know, be on your defense, try to be elusive and all that good stuff, so that you're not the reason why people end up losing. And the next thing that they were talking about is the Titan Brawl. So think of this as a team deathmatch with 5v5 Titans only, no ejecting and respawning. Each kill counts for 1 point, and the first team to 30 points wins. That seems like it'll be a nice little take on Last Titan Standing, but it'll be a bit different, especially considering that there won't be any ejecting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out. The first team to 30 points wins. That seems like it's pretty cool. Good to play defense and good to play offense as well, but defense will probably count a lot more in that mode than in Last Titan Standing. Now the other mode that they brought out for Titans was the Iron Last Titan Standing, which is It's the last Titan standing you know and love, with a few new rules: 5v5 with no ejecting and no batteries. So with this, I can really see Titans like North Star really not getting a push, and I can see Legion probably being one of the #1 favorites in that mode. That one, or probably Scorch. Scorch got a few buffs. He got some changes, so we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I could totally see the smaller Titans maybe having a little bit more trouble and not being as popular as they are in the regular last Titan standing. So some of the other noteworthy changes that we'll go over very quickly is the main menu got an update. They changed a few things, added some new background videos. Kind of cool to see how that works out. They increased the pilot level to 100 from 10. Can't wait to see how that goes. Whoever's gonna get first in that is gonna be a true maniac. I'm definitely gonna get to 100, but I don't know how long it's gonna take. Added live fire mode to private matches. I can't wait to try that. I hope this update gets pushed out by the time our Titanfall Tuesday goes up, but I doubt that it will because it's not out yet. So we might have to miss out on that, but definitely be on the lookout for that. We will have live fire on the Titanfall Tuesday on this channel, so yeah, definitely check that out. And you'll be able to choose between regular, prime, and random for executions for Titans if you own the prime Titan. So you can switch it up. I think that's pretty cool. I like having random on my executions just to kind of make it a surprise even for me. Now, the next thing that they talk about in terms of improvements for matchmaking and network is now the game will make a little sound when it connects you to a match. That's a really kind of good thing to hear. There's some little notification. They also give some instruction for PC players. Also, there are some fixes to address parties occasionally getting split up. Also, players that join late to a party, making the party too large for a current playlist, gets canceled in matchmaking. Some of these issues I've never had, but I'm sure they have been an issue for larger groups. And they've also fixed an issue where you could not invite friends after starting a private match. So I'm really happy to hear about that one, so that we can, keep people in even if they get dropped or kicked out. That sounds like a really good change, and I'm happy to hear about that. All right, so now game improvements that they mentioned. The game will now remember multiplayer as the last played in your main menu, so you won't accidentally be going into single player if you were hurrying up spamming that button without taking your time. They also removed the sun flare from the map on Colony Exoplanet Forward Base Kodai. Now I remember, if you've watched the grudge match between X-Puffin and Silver Smurf, Silver Smurf said that he lost X-Puffin in the sun flare and he just couldn't see him and he got dropped. And that was the first thing that I thought of when I read this in the improvements. I didn't really see it as a big deal, but I guess some people did. I'm sure some people were abusing it, but yeah, it seemed like something that I'm sure Silver Smurf will be very happy to hear about. So shout out to Smurf. And if you haven't seen that video, please go ahead and check it out. Something will pop up on the screen to let you guys know where that is. It is definitely a very intense match and worth your time to check it out. It was really good. Another thing is that Gates, the 6-4 faction leader, now uses the campaign model. I guess they just switched it up. I can't wait to see what that looks like. And then they go into talking about Titan balances. So first off, in general, Titan melees have been reduced the area of effect for all Titans except Ronin, which means Ronin is going to be even stronger in the up close game. Punching him backwards is probably going to be a little bit harder. And yeah, North Star, rip North Star, he's gonna, man, she's gonna get torn up. Please Respawn, if you listen to this video, do something for North Star, because yeah, when people get in, it's really hard. That trap, the fact that Ronin can get in the trap and then phase out and then just keep pushing up on you, and yeah, you can't really get away. And the fact that North Star is the only Titan without a shield, it's really hard, man. It makes it tough, but I get, it's your game. You guys are gonna balance it how you see fit, but and it really sucks. All right, so anyway, moving on. Ronin, there's a fix for the like a bug fix with the sword not always blocking the intended amount of incoming damage. Hopefully he'll take more. Ion, a small reduction in the laser shot's cone angle. I'm sure that people who use that laser shot, hopefully it will be a little bit trickier for them to get those shots, because it seems kind of easy for some people, but yeah, it is what it is. Now the next thing that they got onto was pilot balancing. And first of all, they get into the arc grenades. The arc grenades now have only one charge. So people who are spamming arc grenades and slowing people down, you can stop that. But the arc grenades have a recharge that is faster than before. So we'll have to see how that plays out. The next thing that they got into was the Halo pilots can now walk through amped walls, and Halo pilots can now crouch walk. So this can make it even more convincing when you start using your Halo pilots. Tons of fun. If you haven't used the Halo pilot, I definitely recommend that you do. Good for some serious shenanigan play. You can get in there and straight mess with people's heads and get those kills. It's always a good time with the Halo pilots. Now the Mastiff shotgun, one of my favorite shotguns, they made the crosshair smaller so that if you have a bead on an enemy, you're more likely to get high damage. I'm sure this kind of makes the gun a little bit more difficult for some of the newer players, but I mean, if you get your reticle on somebody and you pull that trigger, they should be done, especially if you're getting more damage with it. The projectile width is also increased to improve consistency of damage in close quarters. I'll read that one more time. Projectile width, not the reticle, but the projectile width is increased quicker to improve consistency of damage in close quarters. So if you have somebody kind of near you and you pump it, then you should be able to hit them pretty good, but it will spread out a little bit faster, even though the crosshair is a bit smaller. Now the next thing is the EVA shotgun now needs to be closer to deal max damage. So that stem shotgun is still going to be good if they can get in. A slight increase to the spread to compensate for this. So if you were not a very good shot with that and you were spraying all over the place, prepare to have a little bit of a damage decrease, because I'm sure you're going to miss more of your pellets and probably not get the kill. But I mean, you kill quick in this game anyway, so we'll have to see if that really is the case. Will people live off of close half shots or quarter shots with the shotgun? We'll see. Now the next thing they got into was the devotion reduced the near and very far damage of the amped devotion. The charge rifle had a small increase to its base damage. The archer rocket reduced the missile tracking speed. This had nothing to do with damage, but just the tracking speed. And it will still continue to track targets, but not to the extreme amount that it has been in the last patch. Now the next thing they got into was crosshairs. This is, just crosshairs off of guns. Crosshair dots no longer turn off when firing all assault rifles and SMGs. Guess there was a bug with that. And they fixed an issue with the R101 where the reticle would disappear while cloaked. Now getting into the game mode adjustments. Capture the flag, they added a first half, second half indicator to the HUD for capture the flag, just in case you were confused. I know there's been plenty of times where I thought that the game was about to end, but we were just in the first half. But it made it more intense, so I wasn't slacking. I was trying to get that W. They fixed an issue in capture the flag where the flag was unreturnable after being dropped by an enemy. Fixed a bug and captured the flag where the flag could be returned by dead players. How the hell did you do that? Dropped flags will now drop more reliably in areas with low ceiling clearances. I'm sure this had something to do with some of those live fire maps, because they usually had smaller ceilings or inside of buildings or whatever. And then Last Titan Standing, they hooked up the missing Last Titan Standing voiceover line, letting you know that you're the last Titan standing. Basically just a way to let you know, if you were the last person on your team, that it's all up to you. You're gonna have to pull out this miracle, homie. It's all up to you. At least, and I think that's a pretty good quality of life thing, because there's been plenty of times where I would see teammates on one side think that line of sight was covered, I'd look another way, and the next thing I know, I'm getting hit in the back by a Ronin. Generally, that's what Ronins do. And yeah, I just didn't know it was all up to me. So it's good that they'll have something like that. I hope that it'll repeat a couple of times. That would be nice, just in case you missed it, because when you're in the middle of a firefight, you are very focused on doing what you got to do. Another issue is that they fixed an issue where players would see a black screen while waiting for the last Titan standing, and now they'll have a jumping to location notification. I think this is awesome, because there have been plenty of times where I've seen that black screen and wondering, is this game loading or what's going on? It's good that they'll have some notification so you don't start freaking out. And there's also been an update to player status in the HUD elements for Last Titan Standings. They updated the player status in the HUD elements. I'd have to see what that means. I'm not really sure what that means. And then they get on to miscellaneous bug fixes, where they fix an issue with the tracking rockets missing the dropship. They also fixed Scorch's nose art. Scorch and the Scorch Prime now have different nose arts for the Firebrand. The Scorch Prime will keep the same demon nose art. Scorch now uses a slightly modified pre-order version of the Firebrand that will also contain the demon art. They fixed an issue with the Black Site Scorch war paint not appearing in the first person. Fixed an issue with Legion would spin and face opposite directions when performing his execution as an auto titan. They fixed a bug where ejecting during Legion's power shot could leave you unable to melee. That sounds like a really weird bug. Fixed the third person animation for some Titans. Fixed bug where pilot could not execute an enemy if the movement speed was reduced. And they fixed a bug where the pilot rodeoing a Titan wouldn't see its health bar as doomed. Okay, so those are some of the bug fixes that they got into. And then lastly, they talked about a couple of fixes for the PC, where they fixed an issue when fixed a crash issue when searching from Crossfire to LSI. So this has something to do with the graphics cards. And then they fixed a bug where the top 3 player call signs would overlap the chat box at the end of the match. So these are all of the fixes that they got into for this new update. I'm really excited about what's going to go on and how this is all going to play out. A glitch in the frontier looks like a really cool mode, and I'm really excited to see what it's like. I can't wait to try out this new map. It looks fluid as hell, and I'm just ready for more Titanfall. I am not looking for any drought with this game. I'm so loving this game. Shout outs to Respawn. You guys have done an amazing job with this game. I can't wait for more and more players to get into it. This is a amazingly great game. I can't say enough about it. Yeah, let's get some more Titanfall, and yeah, be on the lookout for tonight's Titanfall 2 video or live stream, and then yeah, hopefully we can get some of this new update loving before that, but I don't really see it, but I hope so. Fingers crossed. And yeah, that is about it. I don't usually do the news, and I don't usually cover stuff like this, but I thought since the patch note was so substantial, it would be in the best interest of our little community here to talk about Titanfall, since I love the game so much and I've been playing so much of it. And yeah, I hope you guys are hyped for it. Let me know what is the thing that you're most hyped for this new content. Is it the execution, the new faction, the new map, the live fire maps? What are you most interested in? Mark for Death. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what it is that you are most hyped about with Titanfall 2. And until then, I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one. Peace.